Hello and welcome to this training where we're talking about how to jumpstart the flow of money in your business. I'm Emma Churchman, spiritual teacher and success mentor to conscious entrepreneurs. I'm so delighted that you're here. I'm honored to support you in this way. And as you all know, I am woo, but I'm also super down to earth and practical. And I love to translate universal concepts in a way that are accessible to business owners. What I've heard from many of you and what I have experienced myself is that sometimes money can stop flowing in our businesses for months, days, weeks, sometimes even years. In this training, I'm going to talk with you about 3 different steps that you can take immediately to jumpstart a flow of money into your business. This is not about marketing and selling more, by the way. This training is about how to have a relationship with your money that catalyzes its growth. Let me share with you now the 3 steps that you can take to jumpstart money flowing. The first is to handle money differently as soon as it shows up in your business. Because if you stick with your old comfortable way of interacting with money, what you're actually doing is you're putting a ceiling on your financial growth. It can cause you to self-sabotage your money growth. It's important to remember that what we're actually passionate about is the choices that money allows for us. Money is creative energy in the 3rd dimension. It's here to help us create our experiences through choice. The more choices that we have, the more easily that we can express ourselves in the human experience. Financial freedom means making the choices that we want to make. Money is not about time or giving us more time. If you're an entrepreneur, you're already doing what you want the majority of your time. Money gives you financial freedom. When you don't have money, you don't have freedom. So what you want to do is focus on what you can do differently as soon as the new money shows up. Most people, what they do when they start making more money is they immediately put that new money towards paying down debt. But here's how that trips us up and takes us out of money flow, because it's got this energy of financial obligation. Financial obligation is when you used your money to pay for an experience that you've already had. A great example of this is credit card debt or student loan debt, especially if the education is not contributing to your current experience. We can come to resent paying off these bills, but we must, because otherwise we're being irresponsible. Skipping out on financial obligations can create essentially a karmic shitstorm. Paying off old debt is different energetically from paying your everyday bills. There's an in the present money experience with everyday bills. The truth is that you cannot change choices that you've already made. What you want to do is manage your financial obligations in a way that does not affect your manifesting process. Obviously, the best way to do this is to make so much that those financial obligations become negligible. Please note that you can still put things on a credit card and take calculated financial risks. I'm not suggesting to stop doing that. In fact, having some level of debt makes you hustle a little bit in your business. Sometimes, though, when entrepreneurs are in financial obligation, what they do is they can actually cross over into financial irresponsibility. So that's when you make a commitment financially that you cannot afford to maintain. If you choose not to take on the obligation of that commitment, then someone else has to pick up the tab for your choices. You make someone else deal with your consequences. For example, if you sign up for a coaching package and then halfway through stop paying and expect the coach to just eat the cost. This is financial irresponsibility because you are unwilling to take responsibility for your own choices. So there's a difference between financial freedom and financial irresponsibility, although they can look really similar. Financial freedom is about how you express yourself authentically. This can look like occasional splurges that you can be responsible for, Money habits which express that energy of financial freedom that are not your everyday purchases, but things that you want based on your authentic self-expression. So if, for example, you say you have a great sales month and you decide to gift yourself with an all-day spa experience. So that's an example of financial freedom. Financial irresponsibility is when you start basing your lifestyle choices on your breakout sales month. This is irresponsible because that breakout month is not yet your new normal. If you make these types of choices, it's not responsible. If you make them based on your breakout months versus what your average month is. So how do you deal with financial obligations that you created in the past, especially if you feel resentful about having to pay for them? The wrong approach is to put all of your money into obligation and make financial choices from that energy of obligation. It's not motivating to pay for experiences that you've already had. So what you want to do is actually start with small steps. As you start to increase your income, you want to give yourself little splurges. Like, for example, when I began doing this, I hired a housekeeper to come to my house once a month. Now she comes every 2 weeks. Then I hired someone to give me a massage once a month. Now that happens every 2 weeks. I used to buy organic fruits and vegetables at the grocery. Now I have CSA memberships in a meat CSA and a vegetable CSA. So the other thing that I did with those little experiences is I started to put myself in more high vibe environments. So for example, here in Asheville, we have both the Grove Park Inn, which is a luxury resort and spa, as well as the Biltmore Estate, which has a luxury hotel on the property. And of course, the house is luxurious. So I make a point of going to the Biltmore Estate at least once a week, walking around, maybe stopping and having a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. I'll go to the Grove Park with a girlfriend, have a glass of wine, sit out on the terrace, watch the sunset, just to put myself into more up-leveled environments. So that's what you want to do. You want to change your vibration by putting yourself into new experiences. And after a few times of doing that, you'll start to notice that you actually want to be in that kind of energy, in that kind of vibration more and more frequently. So that's when you begin embodying that new frequency, because it becomes an expectation for you. It becomes an expectation that of course your house is going to be cleaned by someone else, that of course you're buying organic food, that of course you're going to have wine with a girlfriend at a gorgeous hotel, right? It becomes an of course. And when you get to that point, that's when you're really embodying that new vibration. And once you truly embody that new vibration and your new income level, what that means is that you won't ever make less than that or much less than that in any given month. So it provides an additional level of stability for you. All right, the second step is to deal with financial obligations, to of course honor and be responsible for choices that you've made in the past. However, if you're not getting new experiences out of things that you owe money for, you want to minimize your exposure to that obligation. And the easiest way to do that is to automate all of your debt payments so that you're not thinking about them each month. And to pay an amount that of course is at least the minimum, if it's a credit card debt, for example, and that does not affect your current experience. So if it's going to affect you to put $2,000 towards your credit card bill this month, you want to look at, okay, would $1,000 affect me? Or what amount could I automate towards that so that I can continue to have the life that I want and really honor that obligation? So what you want to be mindful of is not overpaying on debt so that it keeps you from having new vibrationally up-level experiences right now. And keep in mind that the amount of interest that you may pay over time for credit card debt, for example, or student loan debt is hugely offset by being able to attract more money into your business. Every 6 months or so, you're going to want to look at those automated payments to see if they can be increased, but for the most part, don't even think about it. And then the third step is to allocate your new money to your past, to your present, and to your future. You really want to be disciplined about doing this. So for example, I had a conversation with a 6-figure entrepreneur who was not paying herself in her own business, right? She wasn't running payroll for herself, and she was having a really hard time increasing her sales and her revenue each month. So what I recommended that she do was to start paying herself. So she decided that every Friday she was going to take a percentage of her revenue as her paycheck. And she began doing that, and immediately her sales started increasing because she got to benefit. She got to have new experiences as a result of that money coming into her business. So that's another way of shifting your vibration. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this training. Post below this video, let me know what thoughts, comments, questions, ahas, insights you have as a result of watching this. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out other trainings like this. And as always, if you would like support with taking your business to the next level and would like to apply for private mentoring with me, the next step is to go to emmachurchman.com/abundance and apply for my 2-week one-on-one intensive Abundance by Soul Design. I work with 3 entrepreneurs a month in this program. There's often a waiting list. So if you're interested, go ahead and apply and get that process going. All right, you all, many blessings to you, and bye for now.